What's up guys? I'm gonna try something a little bit different today. I have a new camera and I'm not intending to use it like daily or use it for most of my videos. I'm just gonna be like using it at the track for like recording driving clips and stuff that requires a lot of zoom. It's like a camcorder style camera, but I thought today when I get new cameras and stuff, I really like to use them a lot because it makes me like figure out all the settings and stuff. So I'm just gonna use it today even though it probably won't be that great. You just see kind of how different, because I know sometimes it feels like we're in a different world with different cameras. Did you hear me hit it against the door? That's how large it is. Did some cleaning up to the 240 bay last night. If you look here, we got a little gift that Toge Factory sent to me. Just some cool little radiator brackets that have LZ in them. But anyway, she's looking good. Shulman helped me detail it. I'm a little bit worried though with this camera switching back and forth between the audio, like when I'm behind the camera and in front of the camera. I think these get a little wacky. I don't remember if I showed you guys what the Z looks like with both gold wheels on it, but that's what it looks like. Wow. The new fitment, for those of you that may be curious, still a ton of poke, but I guess it's not as bad as it was before. I'll show you the other side. Hey, that's so funny. It's kind of nice that I've had this thing as a daily since the BMW has been having so many weird issues. I don't particularly remember the last update I gave you guys, but they did find that the car had a cracked charge pipe. I think from like rubbing up against stuff, it kind of wore a hole through it. So that was one major boost leak. There's another like coupler that was loose, and I guess I have a bad PCV valve cover system that's leaking boost too. So all these things are probably why it was like being such a nightmare to tune. Okay, Mustang. I wonder if it's the E85 that made it start weird. I don't know if you guys remember, but I normally make my espresso in my own machine at home, but for whatever reason, I've been too lazy to order more espresso pods. So I've been going to Starbucks almost every day, and I have this like routine where I'll go to O'Reilly's, then I'll go to Starbucks, then I'll go to Chipotle. And it's like a really bad habit, but I kind of like it. They have this like blonde espresso that I've been really enjoying lately. This is not a product plug by any means, but it's like stronger, so it gets me more hype, but it doesn't taste as strong. Like this, that's some strong espresso right there. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about how the giveaway car had a little random misfire issue, like at low RPM and when you're just kind of like idling. My friend came over because I've been like going nuts trying to figure this out because the winter comes in this weekend and I really want to get the car running perfectly. And he's actually a tuner and he tunes a lot of cars like this, and he hooked up his computer, read all the data and everything. And it turns out that the O2s were given some really funky readings. Like one was super, super rich and one was super, super lean. The upstream ones like before the cats. So usually I guess that means that the O2s or one of the O2s are bad. Pulled them out. This is what they look like. I don't know if you can see them, but they definitely look like they've seen better days. I wanted to fix it last night, so I got some of the universal O2 sensors, but I was kind of sketchy about how I would have had to like wire them up and everything. So I ended up just ordering the OE replacement ones. So I'm gonna put those in and hope that it fixes the problem. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they ended up giving me O2 sensors with the wrong plug, which stinks because now I'm not gonna get them until tomorrow. And they're like $250 from the dealer for the ones with the right plugs, but if it makes the issue go away, it's worth it. This is what the plug is supposed to look like. It does kind of suck though because I want to leave the Cream Z on the lift because it's just a pain to put on the lift because it's so low. And I got some stuff that I want to do in the black car, so I think I'm just gonna do that work on the black car on jack stands. That way I can leave the Cream Z on the lift. I've got to be careful pulling in the Z because the track width is so wide. I feel like it'd be really easy to like hit stuff while I'm pulling in. Now for what we're doing, the front bumper is going to have to come off. Any guesses what we're doing? Intercooler? Front mount intercooler? So what we're actually going to be doing today is installing a Mishimoto oil cooler and a Mishimoto power steering cooler. I have their full kit, however, I think I'm going to end up doing some custom lines. You guys will see why in the future. So today we're just going to mount the actual coolers themselves. The best thing about it though is we got gold. Look at that, goals. This is just their universal oil cooler in gold, and ironically, look at how close the color is. It's gonna look so sick tucked in there. Hyped. I'm gonna be doing a nearly identical setup to Matt the Ginge, so luckily that takes a lot of the guess and check out of the equation. So I'm able to just kind of replicate the setup that he has. He used this slotted angle for his brackets, so it's gonna make it very easy. The oil on the power steering cooler will just thread right into this, and then we'll just fix this both on the bottom and on the top to the radiator core support. I don't know if that's what it's called. But you get the idea. Stupid me didn't realize that their oil cooler kit, because I did get the kit that comes with the sandwich plate and everything, you can't order gold. So they sent me silver. I am gonna, however, order a gold one and replace this one. I'm just gonna use this for like fabrication mock-up purposes. I'm actually gonna give this to Alberto because he needs one. But for now, I'm just gonna use it to mock it up on the car. Now, since I'm not doing lines and the car still needs to go through inspection, I am going to have to leave the horns and the power steering cooler. However, for now, I'm just gonna unbolt everything to make some space to work in there. I'll probably end up having to rerun this little wiring harness too, but I'm just gonna move everything right now to get some room to work, and then we can bolt it all back up after the fact. 2 bolts, and we should be able to just move the power steering cooler temporarily. Obviously, this is gonna get replaced with that sweet 19 row. We'll just temporarily zip tie the power steering cooler out of the way. Suppose we could unhook it relatively easily, but I'm just trying to be lazy. Take a rough measurement based on Ginger's picture. His is pretty much just centered between the 2 radiator support edges. It looks like we're about 27.5 inches is how wide we're gonna make this. I don't know if because Matt's car's a different year, he had different like clearance issues, but I do notice that we might have a tricky situation with the AC condenser back there. So for now, what I did is just exactly mimicked how he had his oil cooler set up, and I'm gonna cut right at about 27.5 inches, and then I can play with, and then I'll be able to play around with fitment a little bit more once I'm able to just kind of like mock it up on the car. I used one of the power steering bolts to mock it up for fitment purposes. I do realize though I'm gonna have to have it a little bit more in than Matt. I don't know why necessarily, but I can't go that much farther this way, otherwise I'll start hitting the bash bar. I could grind down this edge. That might be what I end up doing. But as of right now, this looks like the optimal way to get the best amount of airflow, seeing as it's right in front of the radiator that should be pulling air through. AC condenser actually isn't an issue at all, it's just the bash bar that it's hitting. But looks like we should be able to get some solid fitment out of this. Relatively simple. I'll give a quick zoom in case you guys want to get a piece like this. But anyway, the only thing I'm really gonna have to do, if you look underneath here, there's these little slots poking out. I don't know what you want to call them. So I'm just gonna take a Dremel and grind them down flush. That way I could get a good mounting surface for the angle iron, or whatever it's called. The inside one's really the only one that matters, but I'll probably do both because the plan is to use these threaded holes for some stability, and then we'll probably just do some self-tappers all across the support. Because of the way that the car is designed, it's a little bit shorter distance over on this side, so to get it to line up so we can put another brace in the center, I'm gonna have to trim this cooler a little bit. Unfortunately, I have to do the gold one since I'm giving the silver one away, so this one will be the permanent modified one, and then I'll get another one that can just fit on this side, standard. Basically just trying to get it like this, that way I have room to put a bracket here that will brace it to this. Between the fact that this car's been in an accident and the fact that I've realized a lot of the stuff isn't symmetrical in the front end of these cars, it's driving me crazy trying to line these up in the center. So I think I'm just gonna accept that they're not gonna be perfect, and I'm just gonna try to line them up as centered as I can with this support, just so I can get that brace in there. All right guys, so I kind of fixed everything in its somewhat permanent location. I am gonna flip this bracket upside down to get it to look a little bit cleaner. Also too, since I'm waiting for the gold one, I'm gonna cut this off and move it over a little bit. The lack of symmetry is definitely driving me nuts because that center support isn't actually in the center. But once I get rid of that bracket on the silver one, we'll be able to move it over a little bit, and I think it'll be much more aesthetically pleasing, especially when it's gold. So anyway, that was kind of like the process for mocking everything up. That slotted angle zinc coated steel or whatever it is actually really, really convenient. So definitely recommend that for making brackets and stuff. I'm just waiting on the fittings and all the lines and everything that I'm gonna need to actually run everything. So I'm just gonna put the stock power steering cooler and the horns back in place, and then I'll deal with that at a later date, but at least I got like the fabrication, if you even wanna call it that, stuff out of the way. If you're not familiar with the VQs, they do tend to get quite hot when it comes to oil temps, so this is a great way to combat that. Just a reminder, oil cooler, power steering cooler. Well, I don't know which is gonna be which, I haven't decided, but either way, one's for each. I'm gonna use some of this stuff to clean up some of the wiring in my hatch. Not gonna really film too much of it because it's self-explanatory, but right now it's just looking crusty and like a mess, and I wanna have a little bit more pride in it, so I'm gonna go over it. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but like spending 15 minutes in here, I was able to drastically clean up the wiring and tuck everything, make it stop rattling around and make it look way nicer. Now it doesn't look too janky if you just make a quick look in here and try to judge my car. Except for the red basketball that's pushing my quarter panel out. Got a bunch of little minor stuff that I wanted to get done on the 240 done. Now we're gonna head out, take it over to the warehouse. Man, do I love my interior on this car. Put so much time into it. Hope you guys appreciate it. I love it. It's a nice car. I love it. Thanks. We got a solid fleet going here. This car looks a little ugly right now, but it'll look a little bit cooler. Rear-wheel drive coupes for the win. I never showed you guys final shots with the new glove box and door cards, but look how nice this thing looks. It's like a street car. Besides the ECU chilling there, because where I had it before it would rattle around and short out, but I'm so happy with this car. Good old cruising with the drift car. You know, you gotta show some appreciation sometimes. Just do a nice little walk around. Man, do I love this car. It's really nice out, and I don't say that often in Florida. If you guys notice, got a new set of sunglasses on. These are Movement sunglasses, the same people that have been sponsoring these videos for well over a year. You guys know how we're always talking about their watches. Their sunglasses are great too, especially living in Florida. I probably wear sunglasses 10 times more than I wear watches. Kinda just like their watches, they were sick of overpaying for these name brands that have like 5 different middlemen. So they cut them out and are able to sell rad sunglasses that are made out of the same stuff for like 70 bucks. These ones are polarized and they're a bit different color than I normally wear, but seeing as like every single other pair I've ever gotten from them was just black, my choice of course, thought I'd switch it up. Otherwise it just looks like I keep getting the same sunglasses over and over again because I lose them a lot. They have a ton of different styles to choose from, so I recommend you guys go to their website and check it out. You can also get 15% off if you go to movement.com/LZ and get free returns and free shipping. Movement's been killing it for a while in the watch game, and now they're killing it with the sunglasses too. Once again, if you want to join the movement, just go to movement.com/LZ. Now the next thing I want to talk about is kind of like a weird, touchy subject that I don't often really want to address, but I feel like something needs to be said. There's a very, very nice guy that I just met who just kind of like followed me to my warehouse. And he's not the first person that's done that or followed us home, but just understand if you ever have the urge to do that, that does make us very uncomfortable. People have done it to Nicole, and like we go into panic, like anxiety mode because there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world today, and like getting followed by a car, especially when you're alone, it kind of makes you a bit paranoid. So just kind of like if you ever have the urge to do that, like it's different if we're in a public place or we're at a skate park or like somewhere where we're eating, like we're more than happy to meet people, but just try to keep that in mind because it does really freak us out. And I'm not mad or upset at all. It's just that just happened and it just reminded me of it. It's something that I feel like I should probably just say and put it out there, but I hope you guys can like kind of see it from our side and understand how that could be a little like creepy. But wait a second, I remember now, he said that he got a bunch of Mike and Ikes for his birthday. So if it was his birthday today, then I feel really, really bad and I'm sorry and I wish you happy birthday because it totally slipped my mind because I was so like anxious that I forgot to realize that you gave me some of your birthday candy. So thank you. I'm not mad, really. I want to say this before I forget. Nicole, what do you think of my new camera?
You look like Big Boost.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more stylish with the camcorder.
I don't like it. It's not Adam-esque.
Big Boost is like dad with like looking through the viewfinder, like.
Doesn't Trevor film
I'm
one
just
of
like,
those?
hey. Yeah, Trevor does.
Yeah, you look like a dad.
Thanks. Dad, it's for my dad jokes. Definitely not as good in low light, can you tell?
Yeah, I can.
Alright guys, I think we are going to end the video off here. Nicole and I are going to have some rad chicken lettuce wraps. Look at those, so delicious. We got a faucet over our stove. We're spoiled. But anyway guys, just want to thank you for watching. I have a feeling that I probably won't like the audio on this footage, but please make sure you tell me if you like it or not. I saw a lot of you guys like that one long extended cut video, so I might just try to have more of those like longer take clips in the video with less like
one of those
cuts.
clips?
It's kind of the idea that I was going for.
I can tell by how you're talking.
It'd be-
Oh, my robe is in this. Oh.
It'd be much easier if I had like a companion like Nicole around me all the time, because then like we could kind of go back and forth, where when I have to do all the thinking and talking, it's hard to do both of that at the same time. But you guys understand. I will see you tomorrow, or I had a cut because I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. But we'll see. All right, guys.
Oh, but you guys know what he did tomorrow.
Oh, what? What did I do tomorrow? I don't get it.
Well, they're gonna know.
Oh, because I don't know. All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.
When you say